Sweet. Still swimming out. Come here, buddy. You good boy. Good boy. Let's open that bad boy up. Okay guys, what I wanted to do for you today is unboxing and product review of the GE Cynk outdoor plug. I will let you know I did open the box up, so it's probably not packaged the way it was from the factory, but what comes in the box is here. So what comes in the box is a manual, also a wall anchor and screw so that you can mount it on your exterior of your home, and then of course the smart plug. So these are the three things that come in the box. Pretty basic up front, and everything's there. So these are the three things that come in the box. The reason that I went with the GE product was, number one, it wasn't the most expensive device, and it wasn't the cheapest either. The thing that I did like about the plug was that the spacing between the two outlets was significant enough that I could fit a block in here, and then even 2 blocks if I needed 2 block chargers, because that was initially my problem outside, is I can only fit my outdoor camera in my outdoor outlet, even though there was 2 outlets on it, because if I put the block on, it took up the space of both outlets. So also it wouldn't have worked because this solves the problem. And the second reason that I purchased this one is both of these outlets can be doing something different, which means they're not both on or off together. They both can work independently of each other. So that was kind of a big thing, because for me, I'm going to have my outdoor camera on one and my Christmas lights on the other. The Christmas lights I want to be able to turn on and off at dusk to dawn or morning and night. And the camera I want to stay on 24/7. So let's go ahead, and what we'll do is we'll set up the app, and we'll also sync it to our Amazon account too. So let's go ahead and get started with that. Okay, the next thing you're going to want to do is download the Cynk app. If you have Apple or Android, would depend on whether you're going to the App Store or the Play Store. Okay, so now the next step would be to open the app, and you're going to want to go and create an account. I created an account before the plug came, so I'm going to go ahead and log into that really quick. Okay, once the app is downloaded, we're going to go ahead and add our devices. So go ahead and click and open your app now that you're registered. Hopefully you got everything registered, because you do need an account. So we're going to hit add device. We're actually hooking up a plug today. So it says plug your device into the wall. So I'm going to go ahead and power ours up. I have it plugged into a surge protector, and I'm doing this in the house just to make it easier rather than being outside to do this. So let's go ahead and hit next. Now this is an indoor plug. We actually slide over, and there is an outdoor plug, so you can kind of see our lights are flashing. Everything looks good. The 2 little flaps opened up, and we're going to go ahead and hit next. It's telling us to locate our devices in the home and keep them less than 40 feet away from, don't have our devices more than 40 feet away from each other. Okay, now we're going to go through, and we're going to set the device up. Now that we hit next there, we're going to go ahead and hit set up. And the first thing we're going to be doing is the device name is going to be called plug. I'm going to leave the default settings for now. and just kind of go through, because I'll go through and relabel them afterwards too. So let's go ahead and hit next. It's looking for our Wi-Fi connection in our home. So there's my Wi-Fi connection. Let me go ahead and put in my password, and we'll just give it a moment to try to find our network and connect. As I mentioned before, the one thing I really do like about this plug is the fact that there's a lot of space between the outlets, and I can plug a block charger or a block power plug into here so that it gives me the room between the outlets. So that was one of the reasons why, and I'll show you what I mean outside once I go to plug this in. So we're connected, so we're going to go ahead and hit next. Really cool thing here is it's showing us the flap on the left saying we're going to be setting up this plug here. So it's just showing us we're going to be doing this one. So that's kind of cool. So let's go ahead and hit next. I'm going to leave everything to the default, and just leave it to the default settings and just go through, and I can always relabel them afterwards. Okay, so this is going to be called, let's just say outside, outdoor outlet, and then I'm going to hit next. We're going to go ahead and add a group to it, because I think the group is what allows us to control both outlets separately. So we're going to add the group name for this is going to be, I'm just going to call it left side for now, and we'll probably go in and relabel them. And now it's showing us this right flap here. So we're going to go ahead, and that's labeled right side, so we're going to keep it that. And then we're going to add a new room, and I'm just going to call this right. Outlet. Okay, we'll hit next. And then let's just see what happens here. We're going to do a group, but I'm just going to, let's just say outdoor lighting. I'm trying to label things a little bit differently so I can go in, and if I need to change the names afterwards, I could. So we'll kind of see how everything looks, and then I'll show you how I go in and relabel them if I need to, just to make it a little bit easier to identify. Okay, so setup is complete. Okay, so now that the app is loaded, I went through and relabeled the plug and each individual outlet. So the two outlets that work independently of each other are completely separate groups, which I like that much better. So as I was saying earlier, when you're setting up the plug initially, just keep plugging through it, no pun intended, and get to the end of the process rather than stopping and trying to figure out what's going on and then maybe having connectivity issues and not knowing what's happening there. Just go through the process, and you can just relabel the names afterwards, because it's very simple to do that. So what I did is I just went into my settings, and then I clicked on rooms and devices, and then you can clearly see just by clicking on them that you can change the name of them. So that's basically what I did, is I just went through and changed the name and saved it. So now I have both of my outlets set up and working independently and labeled so that I understand which is which. So now my outdoor Christmas lights will be toggled on and off based off of timers I set or through the Amazon app. And the Relabeling camera will stay on 24/7. I'll also share with you the process of syncing the Amazon account. And I'll post that up here next so that you can kind of see that process. All right, I'm going to try and resync it with Alexa. So I'm going to click the Alexa app. I'm going to say set up. And I am going to look for the skill. The skill that we're going to be looking for is going to be called the Cynk app, and it's spelled C-Y-N-C. And there it is. Now we're going to give it permission to enable in Alexa. And now what I'm going to do is put in the email address that I used and my password. Okay, so it accepted my username and password, so I should be all set. Okay, so here's our plug that we're going to go ahead and plug in. And now what we're going to do is go ahead and plug in our Christmas lights on this side. And we're going to go ahead and plug in our security camera on this side. Now this was the whole reason I wanted this, is because look at all the space that's plugged in, and I have all this room. When I had it plugged in here, the plug was sideways and I can only use one outlet. So this works really well. Okay guys, so that wraps this one up. We were able to install the GE Cynk smart plug so that we can control our Christmas lights independently from our security camera. And it solved a couple problems for us. The first problem was that my outlet wasn't big enough to have both plugged in. So now with the GE outlet, not only can I have both plugged in to one outlet, but I can also control them separately, which means I can have my Christmas lights come on and off, and I can have my security camera stay on 24/7. So thanks so much for watching. I want to make it clear, if you have any comments, to put them down below, but I am not a professional. I'm just an average person who purchased a smart plug, and you know, I think basically hoping to make it easier for someone else that is looking to purchase one and making a decision, and also setting it up. So hopefully we can do those two things at least. But certainly if you have questions that I can answer, I definitely will. Please like and subscribe. It's very important. That will help us to grow our channel and be able to continue to put out content. And a thumbs up always helps too, because that shows Google and also YouTube that we have good content that people are enjoying. So thanks a lot, and see you in the next one.